All right. I'm here with Larry Hagner of the Good Dad Project, or the Dad Edge, I think you're shifting over to.
Yes.
And we just recorded our Man Alive podcast conversation on being a good dad and some of the pitfalls that dads can fall into. And I'm curious, what was one of your favorite parts of that conversation that you want men to go hear?
Oh boy. I would say the simplest one would be the self sabotage because there's two things that self sabotage us, and that is the questions that we're asking ourselves internally
Yeah,
and the fact that we should on ourselves. And if you want to know what shoulding on yourself looks like, just go back and listen to
you
the
got to go
interview.
listen. Yeah, yeah. I love that part of the conversation where we talked about the questions we ask ourselves and how that can actually very much change our lives. I'm trying to think about this. This is funny without giving it away necessarily, but part of one of the shifts that I've had around that is realizing like, oh, we gather evidence for whatever we are asking ourselves, probably hundreds of times throughout a day. Like, how could I do this? Or why is this going this way? And depending on how we ask those questions, we can put ourselves into a hole, or we can start to see a lot more possibility. And that can shift, in a moment.
Totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think one of my other favorite parts of the conversation is you bringing up patience and how important it is to have patience as a parent and as a dad. And the view that patience isn't something that you just cultivate in a moment or when there's distress, that you can actually cultivate patience as a way of life.
Yeah. Patience is really a skill. And just like anything else, when we learn a skill, we can practice it daily. But that's what patience really is. It's a practice. It's never going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, not for all your guy, listeners out there, Tom Brady is best quarterback obviously it's ever lived, but we don't expect him to have a perfect game.
Right.
So why would we expect ourselves to be perfectly patient all the time? Now we can, and in the interview you hear it. There are certain skills and certain things that we can implement every single day that's going to build emotional capacity, more calm and more response versus reaction.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, one more piece I'm excited for men to hear is the part where you talk about how to actually get on your own agenda instead of being hijacked or dragged into other people's agendas, especially as you start your day.
Yeah, because most of us just have FOMO from the first 5 minutes we're up, we're checking our devices, and now we're suddenly on somebody else's highlight reel or their need or their want from us. So,
Yeah,
and that can send us into a bit of a tailspin right there, first thing in the morning.
totally. Right. And that we actually have control over that.
Yeah,
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this today. So you can head over to wherever you get your podcasts and look for Man Alive, or you can head to my website, shanajamescoaching.com. And thank you so much, Larry, for being here and for the support that you are giving to dads.
back at you.